Okay, y'all, so this is part two follow-up after reading comments from my last video about do you think it's rude to put trash in your neighbor's trash can? I love conversation like this. I'm a conversation starter. Um, and I think these are really important conversations to have. Things that probably many of us think about, we just don't talk about it, but I like to talk about it. So I have a talk space. If you haven't joined my talk space, join my BMST talk space every other Sunday. Follow me on Facebook, Better Me Talk Space. Had to put a little plug in there. But context means a lot. Now, I really was kind of doing some research, kind of like um, a random sampling research, if you would call it, in the terms of like a psychological research to see how people think. Now, I didn't put too much context in what I asked. What I did ask was, do you think it's rude if you put trash in somebody else's trash can on trash day, not necessarily on the days that it's just sitting there, but I didn't put context to this. Now, if I ask you this way, I think the comments are going to be like slightly different. But I don't think any of those responses are wrong. It's an opinion-based question. It's not a factual-based question. We cannot place facts on things we don't know the full context of, because here's a fact that is true in my community. We live on military housing. Now, technically, one would say we pay for these houses and things like that, but we don't pay for our trash services. Um, I know some neighborhoods you have to pay for trash. I saw one comment say in Ireland and some other countries you have to pay by the weight, which is very interesting. I guess I imagine probably to reduce waste or whatever. But context matters because it depends on where you are. So if you don't have a relationship with your neighbors and you're putting it in their trash can, whether you think it's a room there or not, that still can be considered rude in somebody's eyes. While in my eyes, if you put trash in my trash can, unless you put stinky things in there and it's making a mess in there, I personally wouldn't care. I mean, I don't pay for my trash services. I think if I did have to pay my trash services by the weight, then I probably would likely care more about it. I'd rather it be in the trash can than on the ground and polluting, the environment. Personally, um, but we don't pay for our trash cans here. I mean, it's a part of the expense that we don't see anyways. Um, but all that matters, if you ask permission, obviously, then that defeats the point of this question, because you already got permission. But yeah, so if it's already out there, if you put maybe like, something that probably didn't cause much of a mess in there, it probably less likely would be more impactful. Overall, half of the people say, well, it's just being rude. It's just not even asked, which I agree, just ask. I've always felt guilty if I've ever done that. I've done it before, to be honest, but I've always felt uncomfortable. Like, ew, I'm putting trash in somebody else's trash can, and it feels rude. However, even this is with people that I've known. But again, it rarely happens. But if you putting dog poop in there, that's a whole nother topic. You putting, you know, uh, maggot juice things or things that are going to attract a lot of trash. Or again, if you're putting this up in somebody's trash can and they still got 3 or 4 days before trash come, I personally think it's rude. Personally, opinion based. But anyways, context means a lot. And the point of this was not really solely about the trash cans. It was to see how people respond when I'm giving very limited context. But I like these conversations. Let me know if you want more of these. Again, follow my BMST Talk Space if you're looking for some place to talk about mental health, and then a place to feel welcome. Follow us on our Facebook. Love y'all. Bye.